Right, we should be back now. I'm very grateful for my internet for cutting out. It was very nice to me this previous day. But yes, anyways, Division 4 is back on, and I do believe just loading into the session now, we have a minute and a half left in the short qualifying session right now. Every driver out on track right now, besides Samty, who's in the pit lane. So that's quite interesting. The first driver is going to be, as actually Samty is retired from the session. So right now, just going to take you a quick run through the order. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be the first driver. I think it's going to be Ariel Jordan, who's actually on a lap right now, my mistake. But he is indeed out on track. Ramp is on a lap as well, but he's trying to get through the traffic. Ariel Jordan cross the line, goes P13. Let's see what Ramp would do, because Ariel Calvin is going to be the next driver in front of him. So let's see what Ramp can do. Just starting this or just finishing the lap. P15 for him. I think Harry Nowarg is also on a lap. Let's see where he goes. Let's actually right on board with Ariel Calvin right now. Second place in the championship, Alpha Tower driver, just heading into turn 1 and turn 2. 30 seconds left here in qualifying.
Yeah, and this is a very, very important qualifying for him and the likes of Ford Brennan. And he is having, where is he? He is fifth there. I couldn't see him for a second. I was very confused. But then that's back with Calvin. Calvin's already a tenth and a half up on his lap. He's already 3 tenths clear of the rest of the field, and he's going even quicker. What can he do through the second sector, through Lesmo 1, downhill slightly? It's very easy to lose the rear. I've said a couple of times already this session, and again through Lesmo 2, as Ecos Toy has retired. He's going to have Alfa Romeo in the way. Shouldn't bother him too much. Going to get out of the way nicely as Jordan. Might you pick up a little bit of slip, but nothing too crazy, and is up by just over a tenth and a half. So he found a little bit of time through that middle sector, and now through the last sector through the Scarage again. He's quite cautious there. I think he just didn't want to invalidate, so he might have lost a bit of time there. And he's only got one more corner to think about, and he's thinking about it for a long time. Is Parabolica. What can he do? He's going to go down into fourth, try and get as close to the apex as he can, and then get straight back onto the power, and then cut right across the track to get the shortest run to the line. And what's going to be? It's going to be an 18-1, and that puts him on home by over 6 tenths of a second. And I don't think anyone's beating that lap time, as Brandon comes fourth with an 18.8.
Yeah, 18.6 there for Forza. Brendan's going to put himself on the front row. So it's an Alpha Tower 1-2 right now here in qualifying, looking for other drivers on a lap. He did just exited Ascari. Storm comes into the pit lane after invalidating on his lap. Camel will go P8. Excel Cali is invalidated as well. Marty right now just crossing the line. He goes P14. Jordan, who we saw set his lap time. Goldie's going to lead the two Williams home. Let's see what Goldie can do. It's 19.5 right now for Goldie. He goes P16. He did crosses the line and does not improve on his lap time, so he's not going to be moving himself up any positions. Excel Cali, I don't think improved either. He stays P13 for the time being, and that will be qualifying over. So it's going to be Ariel Calvin, followed by Ariel Forza Brennan, followed by Sam T, followed by Poldy Poles, followed by Ecos Brennan. That's going to be your top 5. It's going to be at Alpha Tower 1-2, so it's going to be difficult for Calvin to try and keep this, it's going to be difficult for Forza Brendan to win this championship here tonight. His other championship rival, Heated LH, right now down in P6.
Yeah, I don't think Forza Brendan's going to be too fussed if Calvin wins this race. If he comes second, 7 points isn't really going to make a difference. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think he'd be quite happy coming second to his team. I think Calvin has to win every single race realistically if he wants a chance of winning this championship. And he put himself in the best seat of the house, P1 at Monza. Qualifying is probably not as important here at Monza as it would be in other tracks, as it is. I mean, overtaking can be done. Like I remember you saying, start qualifying, it can be quite difficult in the trains, but it's definitely a lot easier compared to other tracks like Zandvoort we had last week, and we've seen a lot of overtaking in Zandvoort. So I'm expecting to see a hell of a lot of overtaking at Monza, given just how different the tracks are. We do have sunny skies here at Monza, so no rain hopefully here, which is what we like to see. We want a straight fight out now. And hopefully the elbows start coming up between these Alpha Tower guys. We've seen a little bit of it in Bahrain, I think it was. Yep. Yeah, Bahrain a couple of weeks ago, making big contact. Lucky they didn't get down or anything in Bahrain. So maybe a few more moments like that. I'm expecting. I think Calvin really has to get his elbows out here. He has to inadvertently make Brendan lose positions off the start of this race. And the best way to do that is squeeze him off the track.
The best way is indeed to squeeze him off the track indeed. But yeah, as you mentioned, it's going to be sunny skies here in Italy for round 14 of the Division 4 Championship. Round 14 of the Division 4 story here for League of Europe for Season 5. But now let's take a quick look through the tires. Obviously, top 10 will all be on the soft compound tires. Those drivers are going to be Ariel Calvin, Ariel Forza Brendan, Sam T, Poldy Poles, Brandon, Heated LH, Sabino, Camel, Vagabonds, and Storm. The rest of the drivers on the tires will be Ramp and P11 on the mediums, followed by Ryan B on the softs and P12. Excel Cali is going to be on the mediums. Marty and Ariel Jordan will both be on the softest compound. Goldie is going to be on the mediums. United Bosnia will be on the hard compounds, interestingly enough. And then Major Falcon, Ekostai, and Harry Noir will all be on the mediums as well. So we have one outlier in United Bosnia on those hard compound tires. And we have 3 drivers outside the top 10, all on the softs. And then the rest of the drivers are going to be on those medium compounds. Let's see how the strategy will play out here tonight.
Yeah, I'm very surprised United Bosnia is elected to go onto the set of hards. It's not really a race tire here, to be honest. I think that the medium and medium soft medium strategy is quite easy at this track, so there isn't really any need to go onto a set of hard tires. And I think it's going to be very, very slow. I think his only hope now will be have to go very long into the race and hope for a safety car maybe. And yeah, that's his best bet. But it'll be interesting to see how the likes of Jordan and Marky get on. They're both guys on the soft tires, and Ryan B outside top 10 on a set of softs to see how they go, and maybe get a jump ahead of the medium runners that are in and around them, and maybe just get a couple of free positions off the start of the race. I'm expecting carnage into the first chicane. I don't know about you, but it gets very tight in there, and sometimes you have cars going 3 wide and 3 into 1 there. It doesn't work, so I'm expecting a lot of carbon fibre at the start of this race.
I mean, you may have seen cars 3 wide. I'm sure a lot of people have seen cars 3 wide here tonight. But I've seen cars 4 wide, 5 wide, possibly down to that pit straight. So it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers are going to be able to do. I'm sure some of the drivers down at the back are going to be wanting to be more aggressive, but they know if they go too deep on the brakes or they brake just a little bit too late, just a meter or two, they can be right in the back of the driver in front of him, and that would end 2 races possibly here tonight. Harry Noir, though, slotting into his P20 grid slot just in behind Major Falcon and just alongside Ekostai. But now let's get back up towards the front of the field. It's going to be a front row here for Alpha Tower and for Ariel Calvin. He's going to be leading the Alpha Tower duo. Heated LH P6. He's really going to have to think about his championship hopes as well as Calvin. But Forza Brendan leading that championship. He has a gap, but now 5 lights are on and 5 lights are off here in Italy for round 14. Forza Brendan and Ariel Calvin get pretty even starts, but Brendan's going to be trying to move alongside down towards turn 1. Sam T trying to find an opportunity just in behind, but the 2 Alpha Towers going to go side by side. Forza Brendan locking up into turn 1, and he will take the lead from his Alpha Tower teammate. Ariel Calvin losing a few positions. Sam T will get his way around the outside of turn 2 and will be up into the P2, so the pole sitter to P3, but Forza Brendan, championship leader, that's what he can do. That's what he can do here in Division 4. He leads away from the start here.
He wasn't aggressive enough. Calvin was not aggressive enough. He showed too much respect to his teammate, and he's lost 2 positions there. He didn't get the elbows out like I said he did. Brendan was the one that got the elbows out, and he's after getting into pole P1, and Sam T just was like, oh, I'll have a bit of that, thank you very much. I managed to get past the Alpha Tower driver of Calvin as well. Calvin just was not aggressive enough on the start. Showed too much respect to his teammate, and Forza Brendan just took all the space and just took the lead, and that just shows why he's leading his racing. Or the championship, sorry. There's no mercy whatsoever by the Irishman, and I think everyone got out of there quite cleanly. I didn't see much carbon fibre coming off. I'm sure there is people with damage, but I didn't see much of it at the start of the race.
Yeah, definitely. I think we had a pretty clean start here in Italy, but we have a few gaps that are all closing down. I don't think anyone is out of a second. It's going to be very easy for drivers to stay within DRS here, except for maybe United Bosnia, who is on those hard compound tires. Now the drivers will start to flip around in that order just because of Codemasters being Codemasters. But yeah, anyways, up at the front of the race, Forza Brendan still leads from Calvin, who leads from Santi, who leads from Calvin, who leads from Brendan, who leads, I think that is going to be Poldy Poles. Heated right now is going to be in, I think, a P4 or P5 slot there, but Vagabonds in the Alfa Romeo, I think that is going to be, can't quite see his name, Brian B there, going down towards turn 4. Let's see what he's going to be able to do on the brakes. Is the Racing Point driver on the inside for turn 4. That's never really where you want to be. You can always get squeezed out by that Alfa Romeo driver there on the outside, but Ryan B will get that position now, but now he has a little bit of a gap to Sabino. Ooh, I think there's a few drivers battling in behind. Yeah, Storm.
Go side by side now. Vagabond's going to go, or actually Cali side is going to go around the outside of the second Lesmo. What a move very opportunistic by the Racing Point driver, and I think Marty's going to even have a look at Storm. He's using a lot of overtake now. He wants to get the speed. He has the inside line for the Scarlet Chicane, so Storm probably is going to have to back out here, and he does, and that's 2 positions Storm had lost when he's trying to make a move on Camel. He lost 2 positions, and now he's down into 13th.
Yeah, driver's lost positions as Goldie takes and makes his opportunistic move. He's like, yeah, you're going to get some. I want to get some too. He goes up into P13 and will be making his way past Storm, who seems to be really, really struggling on those soft compound tires. Storm trying to come back at the Williams driver, though, and I don't think he's going to be quite able to make that move. Already down to 54, 53, and ever lowering is his ERS amount there. But Marty is now going to be making his way past Callie. Callie on those medium tires right now in P12. It doesn't seem like too much, but he's in a really good position in this race if he can make that alternate strategy work. Right now, P12 for the Racing Point driver. Goldie just in behind him on the medium tires as well. So Storm on those softs. He's the lowest down soft rudder. Ariel Jordan, I think, who pit from soft tires. He's on the hards right now. He was the only driver, I think, to get wing damage in this one. But Harry Noir making his way past Storm down towards turn 4 as well through the exit of Curve de Grande, and he's going to be up into 14 in the McLaren trying to make a move. He's already so low on ERS, 27% for the McLaren driver, but he's making up those positions, and that's really what you need to do early on here in Italy.
Yeah, and we're just starting to see some trains starting to break away. We have the top 4 becoming their own train here, really. I just thought the Polypods can't keep up with them, and then you got Ryan B starting to form his own train as well. He doesn't seem to have a pace to match Sabino. Sabino's going to have a move on. I don't know if he got all out of shape at Ascari or what happened there, but Sabino down the straight before Parabolica managed to get the move done. This might come back to hurt him. I don't know if he's going to get DRS off Polypods or DRS. Yeah, DRS has been enabled, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're on lap 4, so yeah. He isn't going to have Spino is going to have DRS though, but he didn't have much ERS to defend with, and he has a lot more, much more, and he's using it all. He's going to have the inside line for the chicane. Sabino's going to try and hang around the outside. He's going to break late, but not late enough. Sabino's still there, but I think he's got the move done, and he's back ahead up into P6 and up in front. We've got Calvin going around the outside of Sam King at Curva Grande. That's a very important move for Calvin down into the Della Roger chicane, and he goes back up to second. Of course, we've seen a couple of years ago, we've seen Hamilton and Charles Leclerc coming together here at the Della Roger chicane. We're through Curva Grande. No such dramas this time around, and Calvin makes an easy move back up into P2.
Yeah, definitely. That's what the AlphaTauri driver needed to do for this race. He can't let Forza Brennan go off and win this thing all alone. Sam T had pretty decent pace up at the front, but Calvin wanted to be just in behind his teammate. He knows that Forza Brennan has a championship to fight for. Calvin's trying to bring himself back into this championship, so he has a few or less risks to take in. He has more risks that he can't take here in this race. Forza Brennan just needs to score the points in this one to help secure him that Division 4 title. But right now, leading through Parabolica on lap 4, going to lead us on to lap number 5. Some breaks in the train right now as Polly pulls to Brandon, Polly pulls is really struggling on those soft compound tires. Had a big slide out of Parabolica. Ariel Calvin, fastest lap of the race, 122.2, is going to be looking to take the lead of this race. But Forza Brennan is going to be far enough in front for the time being. No moves down there into turn 1. Polly Pulse is losing a lot of time. Heated. I think we did we have a pitter? Yes. Storm is going to be into the pit lane from those soft compound tires and is going to be changing his wing and going onto a set of medium compound tires. I don't think those mediums will quite get to the end there for Storm, so he's going to have to make another pit stop here tonight. Polly Pole is 1.8 seconds. Let's get back to these gaps in the train. Heated is 1.2 seconds behind him, but Sabino is right on the back of the Williams driver. All the drivers down to 10th, who is Camel, is within DRS range of that train. Marty 1.7 is behind. Callie 2.7 back. Goldie trying to stick with Callie right now, but not quite able to, or he's sticking within DRS, but Major Falcon on the mediums as well. That gap between Goldie and Major Falcon was occupied by Storm until he came into the pit lane to fit a new fresh set of medium compound tires. But Ramp, Harry Noir, Ty, United Bazia, all within DRS. Jordan 26.6 seconds back after making a pit stop on lap 1 onto those hard tires. Storm 2.1 seconds behind, looking to close him down and make up that one more position and try and get possibly an undercut if there is a safety car that could play into his hands.
Yeah, and I think Calvin does seem to be the quickest AlphaTauri driver at the moment, and I'm just waiting for him to go for the move because I think he could quite easily get the move done with DRS and ERS. I just hope there isn't a Jeff. We haven't got some Ferrari team orders telling him to stick and hold positions. If I'm Calvin, I'm not listening to them anyway if they are being said, because he's got a championship to win. He's not going to win it by sticking behind Forza Brendan doing what he's told. I've got the first pen of Sabino picking it up, and hopefully probably going to be the first of many here tonight. Probably hopefully the last one for him, for his sake. But yeah, if I'm Calvin, I'm hounding my teammate right now. I'm trying to push him into a mistake, maybe pick up a pen, do something. Just sitting back behind him isn't going to get him anywhere. I think he needs to maybe even take the lead and maybe push him back into the drivers behind. Maybe have them battle with each other and maybe even lose a couple of positions, because it's what Calvin has to do. Calvin needs to gain points, and 7 points really isn't going to be enough, as Sam T is now the next driver to pick up a pen, and that makes it 2 in very quick succession. So I'm expecting the pens to start tumbling here in, we're at lap 6. I think we're a couple of laps away now from the pit stop window. I'll be interested to see how that works with the AlphaTauri dynamic. Will it be first come, first serve? He now picks up a pen. They're all picking up pens.
Yeah, once one fall, well, normally for most drivers, once you get that first warning, you're right on a fast track to get your second, possibly third, and get that 3-second time penalty. But Forza Brennan and Ariel Calvin will be leading away as Harry Noir picks up a time penalty. So 4 penalties in 1 lap for those guys. Unfortunate for them. They're going to have to try and keep it on the track. Those penalties, especially since the gaps can be so very close here. But Calvin on Forza Brennan, not quite close enough there for Calvin. Forza Brennan right now, 56%, 57% ERS. Calvin on a solid 80 there in his battery storage. So he has all the ERS that he really needs to play with to make this race his, especially up at the front, especially when he needs to make those pit stops. It's going to be very, very soon for those guys on the soft compound tires. Sabino on Ryan B looking to make a move. Sabino has almost no ERS. Ryan B has a little, but Sabino is not going to quite be able to make that move. We have had a lot of fighting with the medium tire runners. Ecos Ty making his way in front of Major Falcon on Harry Noir, trying to squeeze in that gap as well. United Bosnia in the background on the hard tires, just going off into the grass there ever so slightly. But Harry Noir, I think, is going to get this move done on Major Falcon, who actually keeps it around the outside of turn 5 and now up towards the Lesmos. I think is going to keep this position. United Bosnia, the 2 McLarens fighting back. United Bosnia will have to stay in behind for the time being. So now with all this fighting, we have a few breaks in the train. Sabino picks up his second time penalty there for him. Oh, and he spins out of Ascari. Is he going to come back out on track? He ghosts, and all the drivers will have to scatter. I don't think he's going to get in the way of anyone there, but Sabino, he was solidly there in that top 5, top 6 area, but now he's going to be dropping well down the order.
Yeah, and that's the last thing he wanted. And I think we're going to have to move maybe further lead. Forza Brennan trying to use all his overtake to try and keep ahead. Going to have the inside line. Calvin's going to try and go around the inside. Brennan's going to break very late. Calvin's going to have a look down the inside. But no, Forza Brennan hangs on, and he's got to be very careful, because Sam T is lurking. And we've seen at the start of the race, if these 2 guys start battling, Sam T is going to be there to pick up the pieces. He may have a pen already, but I wouldn't be surprised if the guys in front of him also pick up a pen sometime this race. But yeah, Sabino retires in the pit lane, so that's him out of the race already after 8 laps. But Calvin seems to be a quicker driver. He just can't get past at the moment, it seems.
Yeah, Calvin used quite a bit of ERS there on that lap. Yellow flags obviously in Sector 1 for Sabino, who did indeed retire in the pit lane there. Storm on those medium tires has already made his way past Ariel Jordan and is starting to make his way up towards the back of the field once again. But yeah, Forza Brennan up at the front of the race, starting to lead, but Samty trying to make looking to try and find a weakness in Calvin's defense here right now. Ooh, CMT all over the road there through the Ascari chicane, drifting his way on the exit of turn 10, and that's going to bring Brandon back into things as well. Brandon's been struggling, it seems, a little bit on ERS, looking to parabolic up the inside. Goes the Renault driver. He's going to try it up the inside of the Mercedes. Does the Renault. The Renault trying to make that move, but not going to be quite close enough in on the apex there for Brandon. I don't think he's going to be quite close enough down towards turn 1, but is Calvin going to be close enough on Forza Brennan into the first corner, using the overtake, using the DRS, looks to the outside, but not going to be quite close enough. Forza Brennan defending for his life here. Brennan goes a little bit deep, but Calvin not able to get the switchback. Brennan is driving very, very well, and he doesn't quite, or is quite able to hold on to that position. But now it's pit stop time, I think, for some of these drivers. Calvin not in front yet, so Forza Brennan will get the advantage in the first come, first serve, if that's what AlphaTauri is going to be doing for those medium tires that should be able to go to the end of the race.
Yeah, this is. I just said it a couple of laps ago about Hamilton and Charles Leclerc a couple of years ago at Monza, and this is giving me big flashbacks. Calvin definitely seems to be the quicker driver, but Forza Brennan is making his car the biggest AlphaTauri you're ever going to see, and he's making it impossible for his teammate to get by, and he's putting on a defensive display for the first 9 laps, like Charles Leclerc did those couple of years ago in 2019 to win the race. Interesting to see how long Forza Brennan can keep his teammate Calvin behind, and who's going to pit this lap. I would expect Forza Brennan to pit, and maybe Calvin could do an overcut. We've seen how quick he is, and the overcut can work sometimes. the undercut isn't as powerful here at Monza as it is in other tracks. So, Calvin gets on the grass a little bit. So, it'll be interesting to see who's going to be the first to blink. I think Forza Brennan is going to pit. Yes, he is. And Calvin is going to go one more lap. Now, keep an eye on Calvin and see what lap times he can do here in free air. He definitely seems to have paces Ryan B speed into the pit lane. But yeah, let's keep an eye on the leader gap when Forza Brennan comes out compared to Calvin. I think the pit loss is about 22 seconds if I'm not mistaken. So anything around that margin is what you're looking for, and Calvin might be able to do an overcut here because he definitely was quicker than Forza Brennan. Let's see if he has any more pace left in those tyres.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Calvin can do. The soft tires drop off massively here in Italy. But yeah, Forza Brennan coming out in a little bit of traffic. He has Major Falcon just in front of him, who's obviously those medium tires yet to stop there for the Haas driver. He has Ecos tied just in front of him, as well as Ramp, as well as Goldie, as well as Callie, the lead medium runner. He's going to be up into P6. Marty right now, P5 on the softs. Campbell, P4. Heated, Poldy Pulls, Ariel, Calvin, all drivers yet to stop. Let's get that leader gap up on the screen for you. Right now it's 22.6 seconds, and Ariel Forza Brennan, I think, is going to be starting to close. And he has 80% ERS now, does the AlphaTauri driver. Calvin needs to use a little bit. He's down to 26% is the AlphaTauri driver right now in the lead of the race. He's been pushing, using all the battery that he can to try and get this lead of the race and not possibly be jumped by Sam T in the pits.
Forza Brennan Major Falcon going side by side through a Scary. That's going to cost him a heap of time, and he hasn't been able to get the move done. That's going to cost him an awful lot of time. And he finally gets the move done out of the chicane, but that's going to give Calvin a half a chance. That's going to give Calvin a big chance of getting this overcut. Now let's see as Forza Brennan comes around the line. He's already derating, so that's going to cost him even more time down this race. So let's keep an eye on this. Let's see where is Calvin. I don't know. It's going to be close.
Major Falcon's coming back at him.
Calvin's not. Calvin coming out of the pits. Major Falcon's going to have a look down the inside. Is he going to get it done? He's going to break very late. He's going to give Brendan a bit of room. Brendan backs out.
Contact.
He squeezes teammate off. Oh my, Sam T's going to have a look. This is like the first lap all over again. Sam T's just picking up the scraps between the two AlphaTauri drivers. Sam T's going to try and go around the outside, but we can't do it. Going to have to back off. And we are as we were in the net positions anyway. But Forza Brennan now stuck behind the Haas of Major Falcon.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Forza Brennan to possibly make this move. He has to try and make the move on Major Falcon, or Calvin can't follow him through, or Sam T can't follow him through, or Brandon, who's right on the back of this trade now as well, can't follow him through. But let's see what these drivers are going to be able to do. Down towards Ascari once again. Forza Brennan looking at the inside of Major Falcon. He's going to make his way past the Haas driver. I think he will just have to give up that position. Does Major Falcon there into Ascari, but now Calvin is going to be the driver losing out here. Major Falcon going wide through turn 9, but now can Calvin get the run off of turn 10 and down towards Parabolica? I don't think it's going to be quite close enough, but Forza Brennan's going to be streaking away up in the front of this train. Now around the outside goes Calvin. He's going to try it. He breaks very, very late. Does the AlphaTauri driver. Major Falcon goes into the side of the AlphaTauri. Sam T has to go off the track in avoidance, but Calvin will make the move, or will get the move done, and he's going to have DRS off of Forza Brennan as well. Camel and Marty both come into the pit lane from their soft compound tires, but now Sam T versus Major Falcon. Major Falcon's been fighting so greatly so far, but now down the inside goes Sam T on the brakes, and he's going to make that move down into turn 1. Major Falcon looks to get the switch back, but not going to be quite close enough. Now Brandon is going to be the next driver to try and make this move using his ERS off of turn 2. Now through turn 3 around the outside of Curve de Grande. Let's see what the Renault driver could do. I think he's going to have more momentum. Major Falcon didn't get the greatest of exits, and he's going to have a 10-lap tire disadvantage on Brandon. Up the inside goes the Renault. Major Falcon tries it around the outside, but Brandon, he's going to get that position. But now it's going to be Forza Brennan, Calvin, Sam T, Brandon all made their way past Major Falcon. Now the next driver up the road is going to be Ecos Ty.
Yeah, and something I noticed with Calvin, his fuel icon was flashing yellow for a brief period when he was overtaking Major Falcon. So maybe he doesn't have that much fuel to play with, and that's probably just a mistake. Or maybe it's tactical, but if anything, you want a lot of fuel here at this track, and to be under fuel already with 15 laps to go in this race, it's not ideal at all. You're going to have to play around with it a lot. So be interested to see. He is just in DRS of his teammate, and as the pens continue to come in. But yeah, the guys on the mediums, they'll be hoping for a safety car anytime now. XL Cali having a very good race for himself. One of his better races of the season in P1 at the moment, but of course hasn't stopped yet, but he's in a good position when he does come out of the pits. So he'll be one to keep an eye on later on in the race. And the championship leader is starting to catch this train. Now we've seen how difficult it was to get past Major Falcon. I wonder if he's going to have the same issues here Ecos High and Ramp. Ecos has just about in DRS range of Ramp, so this would make it even more difficult for the AlphaTauri driver to get by.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ramp, his best decision right now is to try and keep Ty within DRS range, because that will keep the leaders stuck behind this train, and that will be less time that they're going to be losing once they come into the pit lane. I think a Red Bull and a Alfa Romeo, I think that's Ryan B and Pole getting very, very close to one another as well. Camel and United Bosnia still yet to pit in this race on those 12-lap-old hard compound tires. Camel trying to find his way through there on the McLaren driver, but as you mentioned, Callie still leads the way from Goldie, from Ramp, from Ecos, Ty, and I think it's a little bit of a gift for some of these guys. Ooh, Brandon picks up a time penalty just in behind through a Scar. That's not what he would have wanted, but Calvin has had an amazing run of a Scar. He's going to be looking to challenge his teammate into Parabolica on the previous lap, or 2 laps ago. He made that move on Major Falcon, but it's not going to be quite close enough to his teammate. Going to try and get a good exit because Forza Brendan is going to... Yeah, Gary already calling it 3 wide down towards turn 1. I don't think Calvin's going to be quite close enough. He has the DRS, is now using his overtake, but Ecos Ty will go to the outside. Forza Brennan will go to the inside. Let's see what Calvin does. Calvin will fall in the pass of his teammate. Tries it up the inside of his teammate. I think Ecos Ty just went a little bit deep into the corner, but Calvin is going to, the 2 AlphaTauri is going to be making their way past the Red Bull driver. Now Ramp is going to be the next driver in the sights of Forza Brennan. Sam T now has to try and make this move as quick as possible. I don't think it's going to be close enough into turn 4, so this could detach Sam T and Brandon from the back of the 2 AlphaTauri drivers, and it's going to be a 1-2 for AlphaTauri once all these drivers come into the pit lane, and it's going to be a straight fist fight between those 2 guys.
Yeah, and this is what we want, and the traffic is hampering them a little bit. Ecos Ty, of course, didn't have much ERS, but Ramp has a decent amount, enough to hold back. And we have a yellow flag, I think.
Oh, Ryan B's out.
Ryan B, safety car. Oh my goodness, safety car. And the medium runners are loving life. The top 3 are absolutely loving life right now. They're going to go on to a fresh set of Sauce. Sauce will make it to the end, given the safety car. So Sauce will, I mean, you never know in Division 4, but Sauce are definitely tired to go on. So it will be interesting to see.
Well, I mean, we have the 2 AlphaTauri drivers in there, Jeff. Just saying, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope their jets aren't the same ones that AlphaTauri have. So it'll be interesting to see. Be interesting to see if anyone else on the mediums have pit already come into the pit lane, but Exile Kylie, of course, is going to pit. And this is going to put these guys in an absolutely fantastic position on this safety car. As Goldie speeds into the pits, there's no need when you're under a safety car to speed into the pits. That's very, very costly, very lazy mistake that is for the Williams driver as they come into the pits. I don't think anyone else is pit. Ramp has gone to a set of hards. So I don't think he's meant that. I don't think he's meant to do that. That's, yeah, that hasn't gone out well for him.
Yeah, I don't think that's gone quite well.
Callie is in 8th position here on a fresh set of Sauce. Wow, okay, this is going to make this race very spicy when we go racing again.
Yeah, definitely. Forza Brendan, Calvin on the medium tires. Actually, they could. I think the medium runners could hold on to this because they're gonna be going on the end of lap 17. I want to say, maybe the end of lap 16. So they're gonna have to do what 11, 12 laps on those soft tires in full racing conditions. I don't know if the softs get a hold on for that long. I don't know if they'll be fresh, especially since most drivers will take the softer tire selection. If they didn't, they definitely have used all 3 sets of soft compound tires. So it's going to be like the beginning of the race again for some of these guys. So it's going to be difficult for them to possibly hold on to their tires toward the end of the stint. There isn't much tire wear here, but the tires do indeed drop off in terms of pace, in terms of grip. So yeah, Forza Brendan and Calvin, they might just have to work together a little bit. I know that's not exactly what you want from this race, to keep those soft runners in behind, but Brendan has the pace. He has the pace as well. Bagabones is going to be making his way back into this one, as well as Camel and Marty. They have all brought themselves back into this race, especially Camel and Marty. They don't have time penalties. Bagabones, Heated, and Brandon are right now losing positions just because of those 3-second time penalties. Well, for Brendan and Heated, it's 3-second time penalties. For Bagabones, it's a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. But yeah, Callie, Goldie, Ramp, well, not really Ramp because he's on those hard tires, but Sam T pit, actually, Major Falcon, Ecos Ty, as well as Harry Noir and Storm, all in the soft tires. Ariel Jordan pit on the mediums, Poles on the mediums, United Bosnia on the mediums. I think if you could pit on the mediums, that might have been the right decision here, but now Ramp will be in the pit lane, and we'll go on to a fresh set of soft compound tires, but it's going to be dropped all the way down to the back of the field.
And just note, I don't know where Bagabones has come from this race, but he's in
Me either.
I just noticed he's in fifth. I thought he hadn't stopped. He has stopped. He's in a net P5, and that's easily his best. That's the highest I've seen him all season anyway. But you just go back to your point about the soft runners. I do agree. I think it's going to be very difficult at the end of the race. And the tyres, not that the wear is going to be bad. I think just overall performance out of the tyre isn't going to be at its best. But the first 8-10 laps are going to be absolutely rapid. They're going to be near enough a second a lap quicker, I think, on these soft tyres compared to the mediums. So if they're going to get the moves done, they need to do it quick. So XL Cali is definitely going to be the guy to keep on board with on the safety car restart. No bias whatsoever from me, but yeah, hopefully he can get a few moves and make it a very interesting race. And same for like the Goldie and Sam T also put it as well onto a set of softs. I only know it's myself. So he's a little bit out of sync with these guys. He's had pace for the top with the top two, so he's going to be very quick on the safety car restart, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Just going to your point on Bag of Bones, I haven't seen him. This is the highest you've seen him as a safety car. Will be in on this lap as the entire field has closed up to one another. But actually, Bag of Bones has picked up a podium in Monaco, of course, for him. So hopefully he can't keep that position. It's going to be difficult, as we all mentioned, especially right at the beginning of the stint, as you mentioned. One of the Red Bulls drivers creating a little bit of gap. Ecostai trying to get some heat into those soft compound tires. But let's get back up towards the front of the field. It's going to be Forza Brendan from Calvin. That's how it was flipped last time out on the actual start of the race. Let's see if Calvin will have a second opportunity taking the lead of this race and leading from there. Forza Brendan will punch the throttle, punch the overtake button, and now will be leading down towards turn one. But Calvin is going to be in the slipstream, going to have that overtake. He uses a little bit, but not going to be quite close enough. I think he just had a pretty good restart on the back of Ecos. Brendan trying to bring himself back into this championship while trying to bring himself back into this race for the lead. Bag of Bones and Camel will not be losing positions, but Marty is already going to be losing a position to XL Cali, the racing point, or down the inside of turn one, around the outside of turn two, and we'll get the exit on those fresh soft tires. But now using his ERS on the back of Camel. Let's see if he can make a move down towards turn four through curve to ground. I don't think he's going to be quite close enough onto the back of Camel, and he's going to stay in behind for the time being. He does have a little bit of time. Does XL Cali on those soft compound tires. Not many moves further down the field, but let's get back up towards XL Cali, and I think he's going to be one of the drivers on the move here early on. Camel goes a little bit wide through Lesmo too, and now it's going to be Cali and Camel going side by side through down towards Ascari on the exit of Lesmo too. As Ramf picks up a time penalty on those soft compound tires down at the back of the field, but Cali is now going to be up into P6, and now he's right behind his Racing Point teammate. So let's see if Bag of Bones and Cali will play a few games here and possibly allow Cali into that lead battle.
Yeah, I think he's in a net. He has a net podium as a stand because everyone else in front of him, or top or third to fifth have a pen. So he's in a net third place at the moment. But he's had a terrific safety car restart, and he is on the hunt. Don't rule him out of even winning this race. The pace he is showing. But here we go now, back to the front with Calvin and Brendan. And Calvin's being very bored here. He's just sitting behind his teammate, not using any overtake. He's probably maybe waiting for DRS. He goes very late. Oh, he hit the back of his teammate. They spun. He spun. Forza Brendan spun.
Oh, wing damage. Oh, Brendan's out.
He's out of race. Oh my god, he's out of race. And Calvin is off the front wing. Oh my goodness, and VSC has been deployed, and I have never seen anything like that in my life. Oh my god. He leads this race with a pen. XL Cali is the net leader of this race. I am in shock what I've just seen. Wow. I have no words.
I don't really know what to say. I was on board with Heated and Brandon because Heated was making a move on Brandon around the outside of turn one. I flipped to Calvin. I see him. I see Forza Brandon across the road, and I see him hit the front right tire of his teammate, and then the wheel just pops off. The suspension breaks. Calvin gets front wing damage, so the two Alpha Towers. Forza Brendan is not going to physically be able to finish this race, and Calvin shouldn't be able to finish this race in the points unless he gets very, very, very lucky or just has some amazing race pace. But yeah, Heated, third place in the championship, it will now lead this race as we will go green flags once again. Brandon's going to be in P2, but now Cali on the VSC restart, using a little bit of ERS. He's already made his way past his teammate. His DRS will now be enabled as it is the third lap after the full safety car. But Callie not going to be quite close enough to make this move on Brendan. He already knows he has the net race lead now because he can't see the penalties of Heated. He can see the penalties of Brendan, and now all he has to do is stay here, possibly make the moves, because those soft tires, actually, he might want to make those moves because those soft tires are going to die very, very quickly. Bag of Bones playing a little bit of a rear gunner because Goldie's now right on the back of him. It's going to be Racing Point 3-4, but now is it going to be a Williams 1-4? He tries it up the inside, does Goldie. He tries it up the inside of Bag of Bones into turn 4, and we'll get the position for the time being, but Bag of Bones has to back out of that one. Try to get him down the inside of turn 5, but now Sam T, who pitted for those soft tires later, under the safety car, he's now going to be up into P6, and now his next victim will be Bag of Bones, but now it's going to be a Racing Point 3-5, but it's going to be a Williams 1-4 as well.
Here comes Callie. Callie's going to get the move done down the Ascari straight, or the straight before the Ascari. He's up into second place on track, and here's a P1. I'm still in shock of what we've just seen here. Let's not underestimate how big of an incident that is. Calvin is not scoring points. Calvin could be out of this championship. Well, he's not going to be out of it because Calvin's not scoring any points, or well, Brennan scored no points. Heated is a man who is loving life right now. Heated will get second place, at least at the moment, given everyone behind him has pens. The only guy that doesn't have a pen is Calvin.
Oh my god, look at the battle.
Yeah, a battle between Brandon and Goldie. A lot of weaving going on in the background. And Goldie's going to have a look down the inside. He's going to brake very, very late. He's going to brake too late. How did he stop that? He managed to get the car stopped. Oh, he goes on the grass a little bit. He's going to lose the momentum. And now because Brandon's going to try and go, oh, the contact again. Very little minute contact. He's going to go and squeeze him on the grass. Oh, Goldie, you're moving too much. You're braking. Goldie, you move too much. Goldie, you move too much. No, that's
oh, Sam T in the gravel now.
Yeah, that's not good by Goldie. He's clearly moved out 2 or 3 times under the braking zone there. He's so lucky not to be taken out by Brandon. That might have to go to the stewards. I do not know, but XL Cali is absolutely flying right now. And I don't want to do quick maths, but I think the 18 points that Heated is getting, it still won't be enough for the lead. It will put him on 158 points, and fourth Brennan will be on 171. I think the gap will be then 13 points, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 races to go.
Yep, 13.
13 points. So, yeah, this is good. Wow, I would love to be in that party right now with Calvin and Forza Brennan. I can only imagine the words that have been said to each other.
I don't even really want to imagine, to be completely honest, but yeah, anyways, Calvin down to the back of the field. I think the only thing he can really get from this race is fastest lap, and he won't even get the points because he's not in the top 10, but Samty on gold, he's going to be making his way up into third position. I think Camel made the move on Ecos Brandon as well, so now the two Ecos drivers will be P6 and P7 now, but Brandon Brandon is losing so many positions here. Major Falcon now on the soft tires as well will make his way past Marty. I think Callie made a little bit of a mistake. Made a little bit of a mistake up at the front of the field because now he has dropped out of DRS range of Heated. Samty is 2 seconds back and has a chance at bringing himself back into this one, and so does Goldie right now in P4. Camel right now P5 is Ariel Calvin, as we mentioned, gets fastest lap of the race, 121.605 there for him. Oh, who was that off in the gravel? There was someone off in the gravel, I think, but I'm not entirely sure.
Ecos, yeah.
Yeah, Ecos is now going to be down towards P15. We have yellow flags in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Marty's going to be making his way past his Renault teammate now. Now it's going to be Harry Noir on those soft compound tires, trying to make his way past Brandon. At one point in this race, Brandon was in P4, I do believe, in the train, and now he's all the way down to P8 as Harry Noir will make his way past Brandon. Just what's the word? A series of unfortunate events, if you want to call it there, for some of these medium runners. Samty, fastest lap of the race, 121.2 there for the Mercedes driver. Back in modes, making his way past Ramp, who pulls into the pit lane. I think that will be for wing damage or either to retire in the pit lane. There he is. Oh! Callie's hit Heated!
No, that's not what we wanted. He is down to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 12, baby. He's down to 12. Oh my god, this race is just getting crazier and crazier. The exact same thing happens between Heated and Callie that happened with Forza Brendan and Heated failed to go for the move back down the inside, not going to be able to get the move done. There's just such little contact making the car spin. And I think there's Bosnia just pulled Major Falcon into the grass. It is all kicking off right now. And Sam T is winning this race, but he does have 6-second time penalty, so Exile Cali is still winning this race. I don't know what the stewards will say about the heated incidents. I think very similar to the bag of the Ford of Brendan and Calvin one. So it's very small contact making the cars go around. They're just braking a little bit too late into the chicane as he picked up another time penalty. And this race is just crazy. It is crazy. Absolutely, I've no words. Like, Ford Brendan's going to score no points, and he's still going to have the same gap as he did before his race. It's just mental. It is mental.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Is this United Bosnia? Another driver almost going to the back of the driver in front of them. He's trying to get onto the back of Ekaz and Brandon. He has almost no ERS, but Brandon has even less, 10% less, 0% there for Brandon. Now, United Bosnia is going to try it around the outside. Major Falcon looking to take advantage of this as well. He has 60% ERS. Who is that? Pulley pulls around the outside. I think United Bosnia has been tagged by Major Falcon there on the inside. On the outside of turn 2 there. Major Falcon will be down to P12. Ariel Jordan trying to take advantage of the situation now, but now United Bosnia is going to be trying to make his way past Bag of Bones through Curve to Granite through turn 3. I think the McLaren driver will just have that position, but now Heaton, after spinning on the previous lap, as Calvin sets fastest lap of the race on a 121.0, Heaton is now up into P9. Now he obviously has a time penalty, a few drivers in behind without penalties, but I don't think he's going to be quite scoring points here tonight. But Heaton right now, P9, Pulley Pulse, now going to be making his way past Ekaz. Brandon has been on those tires since lap 9, and now the drivers who all pit for fresher tires, 5-lap tire advantage for these guys, but Heaton down the inside of Brandon. They're in the same lap old tires, but now Heaton is going to be up into P8, and you can already see the type of pace that Heaton had, the championship contender had here in Italy, making his way past Brandon. Now he has Pulley Pulse in front of him, but now, and then after Pulley Pulse, he has such a huge gap to the drivers in front, going on to lap 24. Sam T leads and has almost broken the penalty gap to Cali.
He has 2 pens. So this is what I need to think about. He has 2 pens. He has 6 seconds of pens. So Exile Cali is still in the hunt, but Sam T's pace is ridiculous right now. He could well pull a 6-second gap. He needs to pull a second a lap if he wants to win this race. So he's really got to get the hammer down. He doesn't have much ERS to play with compared to Cali. Cali has double the amount of ERS that Sam T does, but it's all kicking off. I guarantee you, he is human under that helmet right now. Absolutely human. Whenever Ford Brendan seems to have a bad race, he seems to have a bad race as well. We've seen it multiple times this season, and he hasn't been able to gain the points that he needs when Ford Brendan's had a bad race, because he's had a bad race himself. And that incident, I don't know, I think the stewards are going to be very busy this week. It's very minute contact, it's very unfortunate. Personally, I think it's a racing incident, same for the Brendan and Calvin one. I just think it's quite unfortunate incident, but I'm not sure the stewards can decide that one, as gap is nearly 4 seconds, so it's going to get very, very tight at the end of this race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the rest of this Division 4 Italian Grand Prix. Sam T up at the front of the race, still leading by 3.7 seconds, trying to pull out that 6-second gap to Excel Cali. Has a gap back to Camel, but Goldie's going to be right on the back of Camel here. Camel has, I think, a 3rd place almost solidified here, unless he picks up a time penalty on those medium tires. He's held on quite well, has the Ferrari driver being brought back into the race because of the safety car, and has held on absolutely beautifully. Bagabones and Brandon going side by side down towards turn 1. I think Bagabones is just going to have that position going into the first corner there, and the Racing Point will now be up in front of the Renault driver. Brandon, terrible race for Brandon after the safety car restart. Just fell right through the field. Brandon now trying to come back at Bagabones, but it's not going to be quite close enough. That door gets slammed forcefully shut on him. Major Falcon will come into the pit lane now, so Calvin is actually going to be up into P13. Obviously 25 seconds off the back of the next guy in front of him, but trying to bring himself back into this one. I don't think he's going to be able to quite get back up that position, but possibly maybe points in the car. Just one person retires, one person comes to the pit lane, and maybe goes for fastest lap here. But yeah, Camel now Sam T still leading 4.1 seconds. Only pulled 4/10 of a second. Marty's out.
Oh, he's lost at Ascari. I'm surprised not many more people have lost at Ascari. I think it's a little bit too late for a safety car, but
that means Calvin's in the points.
Yeah, a point. At 1 point. I mean, it could look back at that point and think that's a very important point. We don't know, but he'd have a good race. Recovering back up into 7th. I don't think he's going to finish in 7th though. I think his 10s are just going to hold him back a little bit, especially United Bosnia. He's going to come 8th at best, I believe. But I don't think Santi's doing enough at the moment to get past or pull the gap to XL Cali. As long as Cali doesn't pick up a pen, I think he has this race won.
Yeah, definitely there. Cali just has to stay within 6 seconds of the driver in front of him. Ooh, back up to Jordan, having a little bit of contact down there at turn 2. That has been the graves of some of the fastest drivers here in Division 4. That's been the graves for some of their races there. But now Brandon's going to be making his way right back past Backbones. Backbones, the Racing Point driver, made his way past on the previous lap. But now Brandon trying to keep it side by side with Backbones. Clean racing there between those two drivers for P10. And now they're going to be going side by side into Lesmo 1. Backbones does have front left to end plate damage for the Racing Point, so that's possibly why he's going a little bit slower, and Brandon really wants to get that position. Do they both have wing damage? I'm just trying to look. I don't think... No, Brandon's actually, they're both missing a left end plate, so... That's possibly why they're dropping down through the field. But Poldypoles is going to be one of the drivers who's the closest to the next driver in front of him out on track. Poldypoles, 10-lap-old medium tires for him, as Sam T will lead us on to the final lap of the race, compared to Harry Nowak's 10-lap-old soft tires. So now Poldypoles possibly bringing himself back into this race. You can see the type of exit he got. He has more ERS. Harry Nowak was derating off the exit of the final corner, but now they're going to be going side by side down towards turn 1, across the pit straight onto their final lap, and Poldypoles is going to get that position. What do the penalties look like? Poldypoles only has 3 seconds, so he should possibly get P4 here. That'd be an amazing result for Poldypoles and that Red Bull team.
Yeah, and that'd be very solid for him as we are on now the final lap of the race. He's absolutely flown by 27 laps of flat out entertainment, chaos, and drama for the championship. It's crazy. This division never failed to this point, especially the last couple of weeks. Back-to-back bangers here in Division 4. I think XL Cali now is going to win this race. Not on track, but unless he has a terrible last sector, the gap is now 5 seconds. Santi's shown amazing pace on these soft tires. He's absolutely given it everything, to be fair to him, as Harry Nowak picks up a time penalty. But yeah, Santi is really pushed as hard as he can to try and win this race. He's going to win it on track, but I don't think he's going to win it on merit or after pens, unfortunately.
Yeah, but yeah, Sam T now coming into turn 11 for the final time through Parabolica. He's going to be winning this race on track, but he's not going to be winning it, unfortunately, on the penalty situation. Sam T crosses the line to finish for the second time in the lead, but is not going to be winning the race. But now XL Cali is a new race winner here in Division 4 for season number 5. That's not at all what we expected from this race. Camel and the Ferrari will come home in P3. Poldypoles in P4. United Bosnia will finish P5. Heated will finish P6. Amazingly, great comeback drive there in those last few laps. Jordan will finish P7. Goldie will finish P8. Brandon P9. Harry Nowak P10. Backbones across the line P11. And Ariel Calvin will take home one singular point after his teammate retired. Major Falcon will be the last driver to finish, but all the drivers who didn't finish, Marty, Ramp, Ty, Storm, Forza Brennan, Ryan B, Sabino, those are some huge names, especially the biggest name in Division 4, Ariel Forza Brennan, did not finish in contact with his teammate.
I don't know. Too much happened that race. Unbelievable race. XL Cali winning his first race in Division 4. Maybe taken away from Monsieur, who knows, but wow, that was incredible. Yeah, big ramifications for a championship, of course, with Calvin and Forza Brendan coming together. I've asked for it for quite a while. I have to say, that was the most anticlimactic crash I've ever seen. and for Forza Brendan Wheel to come off after that is a real shame for him. And for Calvin just to end up in the barriers, even worse. And then he again spun, like the top three just had a mare, and a lot of it wasn't in their control. So yeah, he is still getting 6, so that's big points. Nonetheless, points are points, and he's gained a decent handful of points with 2 races to go.
Yeah, definitely. Ariel Calvin, in the end, unfortunately did actually not take home fastest lap of the race. Major Falcon was able to beat him in his lap time, 1:20.382 for the Haas driver. But back up at the front of the field, Cali, P13 to P1. That's one of the best drives we've seen, obviously taking advantage of the chaos and the strategy played into his hands. But yeah, great race there from Callie, will take his first win of the season. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that might be his second podium of the season, I want to say. For Callie, yeah, second podium of the season, third place in China to pair with this win here in Italy. Camel, the other podium finisher, along with Sam T, making a comeback here in Division 4. Won a race, second place in a race. Now will take second place once again to possibly revive his championship in terms of points. But yeah, Poldypoles P4, United Bosnia P5, Heated, Jordan, Goldie, Brandon, Harry Noir, Vagabonds, and Calvin will round out the points. Major Falcon, Marty, Ramp, Ecos, Ty, Storm, Forza, Brandon, Ryan B, Sabino. Those are all the drivers who finished out of the points or did not finish in general. Great race there for Division 4, and that completely shakes up, well, not completely, it shakes up the championship ever so slightly going into these final two rounds at Belgium and Brazil.
Yeah, it's all up in the air. If we're gonna have races like that, who knows is what's gonna happen. I think it's reached breaking point now in the AlphaTauri guys. I just don't think it's gonna be no more niceties. I think we've gone past that now. And I think today was the final straw, and I think the narrative I've been playing over the last couple of weeks is definitely starting to come true.
Yeah, but now we can end off this Division 4 stream. Next week, we'll be heading to Spa-Francorchamps. English is not my first language. Gary and I agree. Yeah, there we go. English is not my first language. And neither is, well, whatever they speak in Belgium. I'm not cultured. Anyways, yeah, great race from Division 4. That's been myself, and that's been Excel Gary in the commentary booth. And until next time, that's been all, folks.